American reacts to what 8 years in Germany does to you. Let's take a look. Willkommen. My name is Sean Huggins, and this is React with Hugs. Let's hop straight into today's reaction. All right, we're back with Nauf, and we're checking out what 8 years in Germany does to you. Let's find out together.
8 years in Germany have changed me quite a bit. Now, in this list, I try to go over things that aren't such cliche, stereotypical things that are talked about all the time.
Okay.
A couple of the points are kind of that, but they're true. Hey, how you doing? I believe my phone got
how are
hacked. I lose respect for them by 1%. But I try to go a little bit deeper and really think about how I have changed as a person, specifically from living in Germany and Europe, and not just from getting older.
Let's see.
And so let's get into it. 8 ways I have changed in 8 years living in Germany. I would say that I've become pretty conscious or aware of the food and things that I eat in my body, especially when it comes to kind of like chemicals and preservatives in food. It's shocking when you look at the amount of chemicals that are allowed in food in the United States and that are banned here in Europe. The food regulatory bodies here in Europe are a bit more proactive, or maybe I would say much more proactive, to where food companies have to prove that certain chemicals and additives are not harmful to humans before they can add them to their products, whereas in the USA, the FDA is very reactive, and it is basically allow everything until proven otherwise. And there are thousands of chemicals that are in Americans' food supply that we are eating that are toxins and terrible for us. And I feel that every single time I come back to the States after being in Germany for a while. And then so I try and be as aware as possible when I'm in the States of what I am eating and not poison myself with the standard American diet. So I would say I've become much more conscious.
Yeah, if you're ever traveling to America and you're concerned about your diet, then eat fresh. That's really all you can do, is just eat fresh stuff and then stay away from all the processed stuff. Yeah, definitely.
Of my health in that sense. Sort of along the same line as health, I've come to look at alcohol a lot differently. Yes! I think people in the States, for the most part, look at alcohol as a very extreme thing. It's either all or nothing. And I don't think that's a healthy way of looking at things at all. Obviously, there are people who have problems with alcohol, and that's a terrible thing. But I think living in Germany, you're able to see that, oh, this can just be sort of a normal part of life. It doesn't have to be extreme. You can enjoy a beer at lunch or a glass of wine at dinner or whatever it is, and it can just be a nice balance.
There's also definitely some crazy parties in Germany, some crazy festivals that I've been to and crazy people that I've met. But in general, yeah, there's definitely a difference in the cultures for sure.
Part of your life. So it's kind of abstract, a little bit difficult to explain, but I would say living in Germany has helped me have sort of what I would describe as a seasonal approach to life. It's funny, my grandpa on my Italian side, he told me when I was probably 14 or 13 years old, because he visited Europe all the time, said that the people in Europe are more close to the earth, more in tune with the earth. And I had no idea really what that meant at that age, but now living here in Germany for 8 years, I totally understand what it is. And it's, like I said, a little bit abstract, but it's basically, I feel like people in Europe are just a little bit more in tune with the natural cycle of things, especially here in Germany. It's a 4-season place. You get summer, autumn, winter, and spring. You get the 4 seasons, and in some places in the States you do get that, but
a lot of places in the States you get all 4 seasons. I don't know. I'm not sure what he means by this one. There's plenty of Americans that are not city slickers, as we call them, and are very in tune with nature and out in the wild and out in the farmland or in the forests or in the mountains or whatever, in the swamps even. There's plenty. Probably like half of Americans are, very in tune with nature, and half of them are city slickers, or more so city slickers. And you can kind of see that in the American political elections. Obviously it's not so cut and dry as that, but I don't know where Nalf is from in America, but for me, you know, my area of America, we have all 4 seasons. A lot of other areas in America have all 4 seasons, and very in tune with nature. But if you grow up inside of a big city or around a big city, then I can definitely see maybe you're just not used to nature so much, you know?
Here in Germany, you for sure get it, and it kind of just helps you transition through different seasons of life, whether it be kind of the food that you eat. Laura and I have been talking, we've been trying to eat a little bit more seasonal. It just feels more natural and good. And then even sort of the way I go about life in the seasons. I don't think you need to do everything.
Where is this guy from?
All the time.
Is this guy from California or something? This seems like a very California thing to say, because California, especially like Southern California, it's like mostly the same all year round. But you know, like if you leave Southern California and you're still in America, it's very different. Like, I don't know, maybe he's from Southern California or something.
There is a time for everything. And I also like that because it helps me think, okay, whether you're in sort of a good time or a bad time, sort of this too shall pass, things will keep going, this season will change. And that especially helps if you're in kind of a bad season.
Hey,
cool.
How you doing? Good, man. How you doing? Good, man. Good. Hanging out, enjoying the weather, enjoying the sunshine. Up to anything today? Yeah, we're actually gonna head down to the lake in a couple hours and enjoy some time on the water. Very cool. Enjoy. Good stuff. See you around. Cool. Have a good one.
My love for small talk. This is a massive stereotype that Americans love small talk. Germans do not participate in small talk, and for the most part, this is true. You're in Germany here and you're going through the checkout line, it's very rare that the cashier is going to make small talk with you and ask you about your day. Whereas when you're in the States and you're going to get a coffee, they're going to ask you, so what are you up to today? How's everything going? How's your summer? And this
definitely
is just
a lot more
standard.
common in
This is
America.
the American way. And I've had a little bit of fluctuations on how I feel about it, especially when I'm going back and forth between Germany and the States. Right now, I would say I totally miss the American small talk. I love it. There's something just positive and bright about it. Even if some people can say that, okay, it's a little bit superficial. This person can't actually care about your day or doesn't care about your summer or what you're doing. You can look at it that way, but on another hand, you can also look at it as it is a nice, genuine gesture, and there's nothing
depends
wrong
how you
with
look
smile.
at it. Yeah, it just depends how you take it. I mean, if you want to take it as everybody is fake and everything is terrible and nothing means anything and the world is a terrible place, you can take it like that. Or you can say, okay, cool, this person at least is trying to be nice and, you know, ask me how my day's going or something, and you can take it that way. It depends how you take it. I don't know. I also go back and forth on this. I always hated small talk, and I still do hate small talk, and I'm really bad at small talk. But there is something about it, like once you get used to it, it's nice at times, I'll say.
The way that Germany has changed me is I've started to care a bit more about privacy. Let me tell you a story. Guys, I had something pretty freaky happen to me this week, and it was that we believe my phone got hacked, and we traced the IP address of the person using my data, and it was in Stuttgart. And I was actually in Stuttgart earlier that day, and I had accessed Wi-Fi in public on my phone, and it was one of the only times in the last few years that I forgot to turn on CyberGhost VPN on my phone. Scary situation. We got it all figured out, but it just reminded me, man, I have to always turn on CyberGhost VPN when I'm accessing Wi-Fi in public. And it just so happens CyberGhost is also the sponsor of today's video. So
What do you
CyberGhost is
know?
the world-leading VPN
What a coinky-dink.
private network that has 9,000 servers in over 90 different countries. And this helps protect you and keep you anonymous online. Helps protect you from hackers, but also from these data brokers who want to get your information and sell it. And
Stay
CyberGhost
away
helps
from my
protect
data.
you from
No
that.
data
It's very
allowed.
important and very serious benefit. There's also more fun benefits as well, mainly accessing geo-blocked content in different countries by switching your IP address around. I use this.
Dude, the difference between Netflix from America and Netflix from Germany is staggering. I'll just say that.
All the time, living in Germany, to access content that's only available in the States on platforms like HBO, Paramount Plus, and also if you live in Germany and are a Formula One fan, you can watch it again for free. If you switch your IP address to Austria, then you can watch on the ORF channel. It works on every major platform, and one account can be used on 7 different devices, so you can share it with your friends and family. It's got 38 million users worldwide, and it's the most recommended VPN on Trustpilot. Cyberverse has a great deal for you guys, my viewers. If you use the link in the description, you'll get 83%
Check it out, guys.
off, paying just over €2 a month, plus 4 months free, plus a 45-day money-back guarantee.
Plus.
Highly recommend CyberGhost to everyone who uses the internet.
I've never tried it.
You check it out using the link below. It also helps support me and this YouTube channel if you sign up using the link.
Try it out if you want.
So check out CyberGhost. All right, back to the video.
What's next? Yo, hold on a second. Hold on a second. We are not going to skip over this so quickly. Yo, what the frick kind of what kind of armor is this guy wearing? What is this? Look at how tiny his face is. Okay, never mind. All right, let's continue. Sorry.
The United States and the Americas are known as the New World. Europe and here in Germany and these countries in Europe are often referred to as the Old World. And living here in the Old World has helped me develop such an increased connection to history. I think it's hard to avoid. I had a little bit of an inkling of interest in history before coming to Germany, but since living here and being able to go around to different historical sites and kind of live in a place where the Holy Roman Empire was, and there's just so much history, hundreds and thousands of years of history in these lands. It's hard to not
that
get
part
interested
is
in it.
undeniable
just
for sure.
Dove on into researching and learning as much as I can about history. It has also sparked now recently, after I've learned a bunch about sort of the 20th century history in Europe, I'm super interested now in American history, which is something I don't think would have really happened, or at least
I am not interested so much in American history, way more interested in old world history, as I guess he would call it.
It's not that extremely.
Personally.
If I didn't ever live in Germany and didn't ever get this kind of spark for learning about history, now I'm entering into my learning about the American history, which is a lot shorter than European history, but I think living in the Old World has really ignited my love and interest and passion for history.
For every 1 minute this person is late, I lose respect for them by 1%, and it is irreversible.
So I played football in college, and in college football, they really hammer home punctuality. I mean, you have to be 10 or 15 minutes early to every meeting or practice or lift or anything like that. If you are not, and you're late, I love that. I'm a very punctual person, but then coming to Germany, it has kind of taken that to the extreme for me. And now
I show up everywhere 3 hours early, just like I'm going to the airport. Doesn't matter if it's a family party, a doctor's appointment, even if I have a reservation at a restaurant, I'm showing up 3 hours early like I'm going to the airport.
I get quite angry, and I find it to be quite disrespectful when people are not punctual. It is a robbing of everybody's time. I really, really do not like it.
I'm
Germans
always
are
punctual.
Known, it's a big stereotype that Germans are very punctual. I actually like that. There's a lot of truth to it, and it's a very positive thing.
I never got these, like, there's a lot of cultures around the world that I hear about where it's like completely normal to be 30 minutes late, an hour late, over an hour late for a time where you set up a time and it's like, hey, meet me at this place at this time. And then it's totally 100% normal to just be an hour or more late or whatever. I would never understand that. I can't understand that. That is just insane to me.
I always try to remember that my college football coach said is, if there's a meeting of 90 guys on the football team and you are 1 minute late, you just wasted 90 minutes of people's time. That's an hour and a half. So I always keep that in mind. Living in Germany for these last 8 years have hammered home the punctuality in my life, and I would like everybody to be more punctual.
2% gone. Forever.
This one's probably going to sound a little bit pretentious, and maybe on some level it is, but I feel like I have such a clear understanding and vision and perspective on the United States. I think when you're living in the United States, it's very, very difficult to see it from the outside and kind of see the full big picture. And then when you're living on the outside of the United States, you can see it from the outside and you can see it from a different perspective. But I think the fact that I've been able to live for prolonged periods in both helps me see my home country kind of in a complete picture.
This is definitely true. I wish in an ideal world there could be a way for everybody to be able to travel extensively outside of their own country and outside of their own culture that they grow up in, because once you get outside of your own little bubble and you see how other people live and you actually spend a decent amount of time outside of your own bubble that you're used to, your mind opens up to like, oh, people do things differently than me and what I'm used to for my whole life. That's cool. And I think that it just helps make people a lot more like open-minded and stuff. And, you know, I've been lucky to have lived outside of America for several years and stuff, like multiple different places. So it's been cool to see and experience different cultures and live within different cultures, because exactly what he's saying, it completely changes your perspective of your own home country and your upbringing and all that. Very cool. Anyways, let's continue.
Struggle sometimes to talk to people about the United States and things going on in the United States here in Europe, especially because I know that they don't have kind of the full picture that you cannot get if you don't spend a prolonged period of time in the US. Same thing can be said for if I'm talking to somebody in the United States about the United States.
Yeah.
I struggle
Another great point.
Knowing that they don't have the outside perspective and don't have the complete picture and perspective.
Great point by him.
Like I said, it's a little bit.
I definitely agree, and that is a great point and something that I've experienced talking to people in America that have never been outside of America for any significant amount of time at all, haven't seen any other cultures, haven't seen the way other people do things or whatever. It's not always the easiest to, you know, talk to them about things that are going on in America, because that's all that they know is what they have been experiencing right in front of their face. And the same can also be true for people, you know, from Europe or like, let's say Germany, who watch a bunch of stuff about America on YouTube or in the news or whatever. And then, you know, they think that they have a good idea of, you know, these different things that are happening in America. And unfortunately, I can't really explain to them that real America isn't necessarily what you see on the news or what you see that goes viral on social media. But again, that's all that they see. That's all that's right in front of them. That's all that they can experience is what's online, what's on the internet. So yeah, it definitely can be hard to explain to either side that there's actually a lot more in common that Germany and America have than I think either side wants to admit. I say that all the time on this channel, but one of these days, someone's going to believe me. Someone out there is going to believe me one of these days. Maybe him. He might believe me. I need to talk to this guy.
Pretentious, but the people that I'm able to have the best conversations with and the deepest conversations with, and I feel like I'm the most stimulated and things are the most clear, are people who have lived in both for prolonged periods of time. And I think living here in Germany has helped ignite that and give me the full picture of the perspective of my home country. All right, guys, that is all for today. Thank you so much for watching my
thanks,
YouTube
dude.
videos.
All right, that's it. Wow, that was actually pretty interesting. I wouldn't say I agree with everything that he was talking about, but the last thing that he was saying, he made some good points, I think. It definitely changes your perspective when you have real world experience, extensive time living in both America and Germany in this situation, compared to if you just look up stuff online or you see stuff in the news or on social media about either country and then draw conclusions from that, or if you spend a week or a few weeks or even a few months at either country for vacation or traveling, and then you draw some conclusions from that. Yeah, I think the more time you spend in a place, the better picture you have overall of it. Yeah, very profound. I am quite a thinker, aren't I? Anyways, I'd love to hear what you guys, the experts, have to say about it. Let me know your thoughts. Leave your mustard down in the comment section below. At any rate, though, that's all the time that I have for today. Thank you guys so much for being here, and as always, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.